So the rabbit uses this notion from Viktor Frankl of paradoxical intention, wishing for the feared outcome. And you can certify that's what they did because Venus Gabriel had this story about Mount Zion being a theme park of fears. And Guinar, of course, is to say this. She says, conscious pain, intentional suffering, which was Gurdjieff's caption. Conscious pain, intentional suffering, and necessitates that you be Aaron Bushnell and Sean Straub and so forth. Guinar wants to burn Little Boy alive, in other words. There's an album that they like with Vincent Price on it called Welcome to My Nightmare. And Vincent Price goes, pardon me, little boy, but I am laughing at you. This is their mentality, the cycle of destruction that they incarnate. And I say paradoxical intention shows you they have a holding hands with a girl who vacillated. She was ambivalent. She changed her mind. She went back and forth. She was wishy-washy. And they use that as a neurohypnotic pendulum to say, do you have a paradoxical intention for wishing for the feared outcome? And they're fundamentally blow riposte. They let millions of people die so McCartney could do this shit. Well, Frankl was, of course, something I was looking at from before I got into Ouspensky's Fourth Dimensional Superman. But he was from the Jewish Holocaust survivor community. If I was in a Marvel comic, the suicide of Primo Levi was when the fourth dimension first struck home. If I was in a Marvel comic, I'd narrate it, it was about to get that was just the beginning. It was about to get a lot weirder. I just written him a letter. Guinar's favorite, Steve Langer of Princeton, says, I'm not sorry for anything I did, only they had to be you. In other words, you're a symbol, you're a logotherapy. Punk to light on fire. You have Moon Unit powwowing with Sherman Alexie about it. It's tiresome and evil, and they did this to Gaza, but Gaza doesn't dare speak a word about it. So, Ouspensky was sort of an acolyte of Gurdjieff. Viktor Frankl was closer to Samo de Jong's idea of an archetype. Like, you were to find the exact model proposed for the mural of Gail Burstyn playing violin in Seattle Center. Probably was not Gail Burstyn. To find the exact model on the cover of Under Heavy Manners in 1979. It probably was not Gail Burstyn. But they're so closely identical to one another that their lookalikes, they immediately remind you of Gail Burstyn. They're archetypes of Gail Burstyn, and their logos, like a logo is the symbol. The little boy, pardon me, little boy, but I'm laughing at you. This is why so many children of Gaza went to their deaths so that they could have a tug of war in the casinos of the state of Washington over who's big. So it's just tune humiliating everybody with greed. The way the gold gangsters in Sudan humiliated the black man by black on black genocide. You know, the way Obama humiliated the black male image, assassinated the black male image by engaging in drone warfare. Kamala, what's her name? Certainly proved herself to be Martin Luther King, didn't she? So it's not going to happen. In other words, if you expect asking for Congress to find self-respect or Chris Hedges to find self-respect, that's a laugh. They're not. It's not going to happen. They're going to just suffocate their involvement in imperial genocide and play all handkerchief for Gaza.